You think that Mountain Dew's gone flat yet?
I haven't really given it much thought.
But wouldn't it really suck if you finally decided to drink it and it tasted like crap?
Wait a minute. Why are you so eager to see me try?
Hey, I'm just thirsty. Heck, I'll drink it if you want. Then you won't even be tempted by it anymore.
You think I'm tempted?
You're not? Not even a little?
No, and I think you should leave it alone too. A plastic action figure drinking a 2-liter sounds pretty messy.
I am Doomsvince, and this is day 170 of Spawn Year.
Doomsvince's reading order continues to keep me on my toes. I could never have guessed the day would come when I resented Brian Michael Bendis' Sam and Twitch for interrupting the main Spawn title. Sam and Twitch is still a solid title, certainly, but I'm finally to a point in Spawn where I'm not just tolerating it, but actually anticipating it. Brian Hogwin clearly has big plans for Spawn, and after Spawn not only carelessly tortured an innocent woman to death and sent her soul to hell, but also deeply regrets that, it seems like he's on the cusp of a profound turning point in his character development and his procedure. Under Hogwin's capable pen, there's even a decent chance it'll stick this time. But Doomsvince never lets me enjoy a good thing for very long, and I am worried this means one of two things. Either Sam and Twitch is about to take a sharp turn for the worse, or Spawn is. I've got to stay focused and try not to get too attached to either. The longer I'm in this place, the more I find I can't trust anything. And these days, not even my own two eyes. This issue is a compelling introduction to a new arc, and while it's still a hard-edged detective story, it's not another standard whodunit, but rather a manhunt. Now that we're quite familiar with the major players and their interpersonal dynamics, this is an ideal point to put Sam and Twitch on a case motivated almost entirely by personal interest. A bounty hunter, looking for a bail jumper, carelessly fires warning shots in Twitch's next-door neighbor's apartment, believing the family there is harboring the fugitive. One of the bullets goes through the wall and hits Twitch's girlfriend, KC, who winds up in critical condition at the hospital, with Twitch blaming himself, telling Sam he thinks he's being punished by God for his divorce. One of the primary issues I find myself criticizing in stories is coincidence. Unrealistic random chance lazily concocted by a writer who doesn't take the time and care to allow events to unfold more organically. You want something to happen, so it just happens. But of course, we've all experienced weird coincidence in reality. Someone has to be the one to get the last Coke out of the soda machine, and inevitably, someone's gonna win the Powerball jackpot. The odds aren't good, but it happens. This isn't a case where strange, unlikely coincidence is a detriment to the story, partly because of the nature of it. A stray bullet almost killed KC. Well, there's nothing convenient about that. But more than that, Bendis isn't floundering for effective story devices. Rather, he intelligently uses this as an opportunity to discuss the nature of coincidence. When he tells Sam that God's punishing him, Sam rather directly expresses his irritation with the self-absorbed nature, as he sees it, of spiritual people, like the whole world revolves around them. Certainly the timing was lousy, but Sam makes a terrific point. Life is filled with happenstance, and we can't control that as much as we'd like to. And remember, this is a universe where we know God and the devil both exist, and this is after the incident with Ghosty Kincaid, so Sam and Twitch both have seen plenty of evidence of this. So it's nice that Bendis continues to reaffirm human free will here. As Sam says, this was a random act of violence. No reason to jump the gun and assume otherwise until there's evidence to the contrary. The issue opens with a really strong exchange between Twitch and KC just before she gets shot, where she explains to Twitch why she pores over her gruesome cases in bed before she goes to sleep. She tells a story from 40 years prior of a boy she heard about whose body was tragically found in a box, and no one ever discovered, despite grueling, extensive investigation, who did it or why. Casey's job, like Twitch's, is everything to her. She knows how important her work is to people, and she establishes, in a vulnerable way, why she's so devoted to her profession. Twitch feels the same way and just lost his marriage over it. More than ever before, these two feel like kindred spirits. I see how they think alike and what Twitch sees in her. Despite dating someone immediately after his divorce, this is not an unhealthy relationship. These two people totally get each other's commitment to their work, and it's more important to them even than their affection for each other. That understanding Bendis gives the reader makes us all the more invested in both of them when she gets hurt. As always, most of Bendis' storytelling comes from long, involved conversations, but it's nonetheless riveting. At the end, the woman at Bond Services covers for the bounty hunter, Christian Bilal, who's sitting right behind them, hidden by a newspaper. Police corruption is clearly going to be another big element in this story once again. I wonder if Bendis chose the name Christian arbitrarily, or if it's a deliberate irony, given Twitch's guilt and his invoking of his faith earlier. The plot thickens when another bounty hunter, who claims to have been eclipsed by Bilal at the last minute, that he stole a bounty from her that was rightfully hers, shows up, and Sam and Twitch reluctantly agree to let her work with them to find him. Well, this book's still great so far. I guess I'll have to wait to see if that's going to last. Signed, Captain Logan.